It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Seahawks and the Lions, next on Madden Football.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together.
Well, the Lions defense getting set to go, fresh off a victory in the season opener. And the one we'll be watching is this man at linebacker.
And he really played well last week. This whole defense did, as a matter of fact. Anytime you can hold your opponent under 10 points, you've got a great chance to come away with a victory, and that's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jack Campbell in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw, Smith. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So his first sack of the game, but CD, not his first of the season. He has shown an ability to get after the quarterback here early in his rookie year.
Yeah, and that just goes along with everything else we already knew about him. We knew his ability to tackle and to make plays behind the line of scrimmage. But any kind of pass rush you get almost seems like a bonus. I think they'll use him that way a lot more moving forward.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. A man who played collegiately over at East Lansing, it's Kenneth Walker III. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Deep.
The Lions defense back out there. They'll start by looking at a 1st and 10 at the 25. They'll fake it. Now Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Smith. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that. and often pay the price.
The Detroit defense back onto the field. And they'll begin by trying to defend a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's to the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Up the middle, here's Walker. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Lions defense back out there. They'll try to put together a stop as this drive begins with a 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Kirby Joseph there to drop him.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Aaron Jones, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Isaiah McKenzie, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. As you can see the score there in the 2nd quarter. Mike Evans, a touchdown reception. The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
The Detroit defense back onto the field. They've done a really nice job of slowing the tempo of this offense, and as a result, they've got a comfortable 3rd quarter lead as this next drive begins 1st and 10. Smith on first down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Smith on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Trying the left side with Walker. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Lions defense back out there. They'll be looking to get off the field quickly here as this drive begins. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's Levi Onwuzurike fighting through and punishing the offense. A big tackle for loss.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play. He cannot pull it in.
And this is a situation where as a head coach you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big...
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
The Detroit defense back onto the field. They'll be looking to be the aggressors here as this drive begins with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He completes this to Walker. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So 2 sacks for the rookie, definitely making an impact here in year 1.
And in a ton of different ways, because rushing the passer, that was supposed to be a skill that he was developing. Looks to me like he's figured it out already.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They caught him on back-to-back plays breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play, and on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
The Lions defense back out there. They, you might remember, forced a safety last time they were out there, so they're playing with some confidence now as this drive begins with a 1st down. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw is Smith. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Geno. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. The Detroit defense back onto the field. They've pitched the shutout here into the 4th quarter. Been sensational. The question, can they finish it off? They'll need to come up with another stop here. On first down, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Smith now to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The Lions defense back out there. They've put in a very good shift so far, and this one pretty well in hand. Just looking to finish strong here in the 4th as this next drive starts 1st and 10. On first down, it's Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Smith.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Team here, Charles, and that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for the Lions, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.